edit using presentation software. We are going to walk through multiple ways to create presentations and strategies to help students work in groups more effectively. We talked a lot about Google Drive, but there are other options out there. And Zoho has a whole suite of products that can be used in a collaborative nature. 7 million people are using it right now. And so Zoho is another solution. So if your school has not gone into Google Apps, you have other options. So Zoho.com, look around. You can't believe all the resources that are there, and they're free for you to use. So they have a whole suite of productivity, including calendar sheet. But for this one, we're talking about making presentations, or in this case, a show. And they have some different tools, including dynamic shapes, some transitions, and animation effects. So one place that you can send your students to create their collaborative project. So Zoho.com. Now Microsoft has also moved to the cloud, and instead of buying software that comes in a box, you can also get their software called Microsoft Office 365. And it's very much like Zoho and like Google Drive that we've covered pretty extensively, and it offers a variety of packages. But again, this is all back to that whole thing about cloud computing. It's in the cloud. It's access on any device, anywhere. So that's Office 365. And there's business and there's home. And there's different pricing structures, of course, for both. Here's the business pricing, just to give you an idea about what that would be. And these are per user per month. Home is different. We'll get to that. But you can do very similar things to what you can do in Google Drive. You just have to make sure that everybody that's in your project has their own user account. Here's home pricing. So for $100 a year, you have access on up to 5 PCs or Macs, which is really nice because I think the old licensing was just for 2 machines. So with everybody having multiple devices, it's nice to have up to 5 PCs. That's great. So that's the home one. Now we're back to our old friend Google Drive, and in Google Drive, I'm actually going to walk you through how I would do this with students. So the first thing I would do in Google Drive is I would create a folder that is our shared presentation, or whatever the name of it is, and then the sharing part. So each folder, remember, in your Drive can be kept private or can be shared with a different group of people. It's not all or nothing. It's pick and choose what you want. And the sharing, this is really important. If you want them to be editing together, then you have to change it from that I'm the owner, but you have to add people and you have to give them the ability to edit. If not, they can just read only and it won't be a very collaborative project. It takes a while to get the hang of the sharing settings, but it is the same process if you're in a spreadsheet, document, or a presentation. So just practice. You'll get good at it. So make sure you share. You can use emails, however you want to go ahead and do that. So first step, everybody in the group has access to the folder. Now, when we have access to the folder, whatever we put in that folder, everyone is going to be able to see. So that's really important that everybody understands that. Next step I would do is I would open a word processing document, and I would use the word processing document for a collaborative outline about the presentation. So open it up and again share the document just like you did the folder. Well, if you put it in the folder, you wouldn't have to share it. You're going to have to play with that a little bit to make sure that everybody has access. So everybody can be typing right in the document at the same time. And one hint is to use different colored fonts for each person. It just helps to see who's contributing and so on and so forth. And as you're going, if you want to open up the comments, you maybe pose questions back and forth to the group. Do we want this here or do we want this there? However you want to set that up. And you have features in the word processing, bullets, numbering, things like that. But I wanted to show you the use of the comments while the work is actually going on the outline. Now, you have lots of things that you can do here. You can always go and download it into a different format if you want. You can change all different things, but I wanted to point out the revision history. Every time anybody makes a move on the document, it is shared. So as long as you shared through email, we know the people that are in the document. And it's an ongoing log, so it timestamps exactly what time and then what they did. So if somebody by mistake deleted the whole outline just as you're about to get done with it, no worry, you can go back into the revisions and revert back to the revision before the mistake happened. When you get started, remember less is more. When I'm working with students, my rule for presentations, no pictures, graphics, anything can be added until all the text is added. And absolutely no animations, transitions, any of that until everybody has all their text in. It just helps streamline the process. If not, you can get stuck and worrying about this transition and so on and so forth. So less is more. Okay, so somebody, maybe it's a joint effort, has to go ahead and copy and paste from the outline into the presentation. And this looks very familiar. It looks just like almost all the other presentation software I've ever looked for. In the upper left-hand corner, when you make a new slide, go ahead and just click on the plus sign. Now, when you are ready to add pictures, just a reminder that Google has a beautiful collection of images that are in here that are licensed to be used under commercial, meaning it's okay to use them. And so those are under the stock photos. So you go into the search part. If you have images, you can upload them. That's great. But you can go to search, and you have an option to search on Google, of course, Google Images. You can search in the Life collection that Google purchased, or you can search under stock photo. I searched under stock photo, and all of these I know are okay to be used in a presentation. Now, this is just my opinion. I like it when the image goes all the way, they call it bleed to the edge. It goes the full size. I like that, and I like bold images. If you haven't noticed, I like bold images in my presentations. And then if you look at the bottom, you can add your speaker notes here. And so you can use really strong images, and then everybody could add their notes. So when they're doing the presentation, they can actually have access to the speaker notes that go with the points that they want to make on this slide. So we don't want to have slides laden with bullet points. We want to use real strong images, and then the presenter does the content. Okay, in Google Presentation, you can go ahead and go full screen, and this is the way you would present this to the class. And so the full screen, and then you can exit full screen, and so on and so forth. Here we are doing our presentation. And I wanted to show you on the right, that's what the revision history looks like. And it's usually the summary that appears there, but if you look at the bottom right corner, show less detailed revisions or show more detailed. And that way you can see I made the document, I'm the only one revising it, but you can see exactly the time that I came to contribute. If this was a shared document, you would see the other people's names, and then you could actually go back and see what did they actually revise. If I was a teacher and I was having students do this, I might, for the first couple, for them to understand that everybody has to contribute, I might have somebody copy the revision history and add that maybe as an extra slide or an extra document, just to show, hey, yes, we all worked on this document. There's no hiding. We've all been in those groups where one person does all the work. Here, we can see that it's documented. Now, there's other things that you can use. So think about it. The students are all, wherever they are, coffee shops, at home, they're all working on the presentations. They also could have a couple things open that they could be communicating. I showed you the comments that's within Google Drive. That's one way to communicate. But they could also open up a Google Hangout. That's in part of Google+. And they could set up a Hangout, and up to 9 of them can be communicating using their webcams. It's just another way to do that communication as the work is being done. The great part about this, we don't all have to be in the same room. Everybody can be wherever they want to be, and we can connect. Google Hangout is one option for the connection. Another option, I've come back to Skype a number of times. Skype, as long as it's downloaded and installed on people's machines, you can use the chat feature, the instant message part. And that's what a lot of businesses do, is they use that kind of all the way through the day. What I love about it is there's a running record of everything that we were talking about. So I like that. The other thing you can do within Skype is you can share the screen. So if one team member wanted to talk about a point or something like that, you could actually share the screen. And you can have up to 10 people on one call, and then you can share the screen with everybody and really get everybody on the same page. So that's under Conversations within Skype. So lots of ways to work using presentation software. I walked you through the process that I would do with students, again with the goal that everybody participates. Thanks.